Okay, so I'm back down here at Big House Guitars in Atlanta, Georgia with my friend Ben Calhoun, and we're doing a follow-up to the most recent video we did down here, which was things a pro guitar tech hates. So today I thought I would show you some things that pro guitar tech Ben loves. These are tools, techniques, ideas, things you should have around to work on and maintain and keep your guitars in great shape. We've done things that you hate as a pro guitar tech. What are some things you actually like?
I've got some favorites, for sure. Something that everybody should probably have and probably already does have is just a capo. And I use it all the time. And this is a great example of a guitar that I would use it on. I think it's a 52 custom shop. And the truss rod adjustment is right there, which everybody loves. So to get to it, you gotta take the neck off. So I usually just capo up right there. So I just loosen these guys up, and I'm pulling on them as I loosen it down here. These are vintage style Fender keys, so those strings want to pop out. Now the strings are loose, I can pull on them, and now I can take that neck off without having to mess with the strings. So it seems crazy, but just a simple capo is gonna save the day on this one and make this a lot quicker.
And why is the neck coming off this one?
Well, on a old school Fender and some other guitars, the truss rod adjustment is actually right there at the butt of the neck, at the heel of the neck. So in order to access that, taking the neck off is really necessary. Instead of having these strings all come out and me not being able to get them back in, because I might have to make multiple adjustments. This allows me to keep the strings attached to the guitar while I take this neck off so I can access that screw right there. And you would do that just by taking the bolts off. Our techs don't use power tools on guitars, really, except for me. So the neck is off now, and the strings are still attached. So I don't have to worry about it. So the capo made my life easier. That's how you adjust the truss rod on this. Now what a lot of people do is they'll use a Phillips head screwdriver for that. I've found that a flathead is actually the right tool. You can get right into it, and now you're not gonna get that chewed up look that you see on so many old school Fenders. It's the same rules, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So then I can put it back on, and I don't recommend using a power tool for this because you can bend that neck plate pretty easily. Be careful.
You can also use the capo as a way to check the neck relief.
That's how I check relief too. So let's assume it's in tune right now. I'll capo at the 1st fret, hold down the 12th fret. Now the string is made a straight line, but the neck's gonna be wherever it is. So if I wanna check the relief, I can tap the string and I can actually see how much curvature is in the neck. I think we talked about this in the last video, but I go from fretting at the 12th fret. That's how I do it. You can do it from here, you can do it from 15th. So what I'm looking for is right in the middle on the 6th fret. I'm looking for 5/1000 inch clearance, which is about what that is. If I don't see any movement like this, I know that the neck is backbowed. So I will loosen the truss rod. And you use a simple set of feeler gauges for that. So that's the capo. I use it on almost every guitar I touch. Any capo, look, I know there's a billion different types. I'm not picky as long as it'll just keep the strings in place and actually hold it against the 1st fret.
Cool, capo.
Capo.
Yeah, I do think soldering is a tool and a skill that every guitar player should have.
I think so too. I mean, you run into issues like your input jack, or your output jack, I guess technically. You know, it gets loose and then you try to tighten it and then the thing pops off. People come in every day for that and it takes 30 seconds to fix it, you know, and you could do it at home.
And you can make your own cables, you can repair cables.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can repair cables, you can make your own pedal board cables to the right size, and if they're soldered, they're not gonna wear out as quick as like an unsoldered unit would. And it's honestly a lot cheaper too. Yeah. So I love soldering, I love doing electronics work, it's just enjoyable. Next is our old buddy Deoxit D5. So I use this in conjunction with another product they make called Fader Lube, and I will use this to clean things like a pot. So let's say my tone pot's scratchy. All I'm gonna do is take a little of this Deoxit, and see the little hole there? Do that, turn it back over, and literally just turn the knob a few times. All right, now it's not gonna, more than likely it's not gonna be scratchy at that point. The Fader Lube is to put the lubrication back into the knob so that stays.
Right.
So use those two in conjunction. Deoxit makes both of them. There's D5, there's Gold, there's Fader Lube. I use D5 and Fader Lube, which is a kind of a green label. It is magical for pedals, amps, guitars, all kinds of stuff, frozen saddles. It's kind of a little wonder miracle worker type of thing. It's really, really good stuff. It's kind of expensive, but it lasts a long time, and I would recommend every guitar player have it, because we've all had dirty pots.
I've got a can of this with me in my my road kit because it works on everything. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Your pedals, your amp, your board.
It's really, really useful stuff. Works on everything. All right, let's say if you're an idiot and you're using a drill on your guitar and you're putting screws in with it, and you strip a hole.
Definitely never done
never
that myself.
Never done that myself, ever.
Yeah. So like the pickguard screws, for example, like these little
I'll
things.
do one better. I'll be right back. could be my guitar, maybe my guitar.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh, I definitely confirm it's mine. So look, these guys always get loose, right? Strap buttons. They always get loose. And everybody just tightens them back up, right? You know, you get in there and you just kind of screw it back. And you're like, okay, cool. All right, I'm good for a minute. This is kind of a guilty admission of mine. This has been this way for like 3 years. And I just keep retightening it, so we'll just fix it. The next thing that is really a favorite thing of mine are toothpicks. So, little wooden stick, right? All I do to fix this is stick that in the hole until it goes down, break it off, put this back in, that'll expand, and this will hold. That's how I do it. The other way you can do it is one of my other favorite tools, which is tight bond wood glue. Dip your toothpick in that, then stick it in the hole. That's another way to do it. I don't do it that way.
You're just gonna thread the screw in there and it's gonna friction fit against that.
You got it. It's gonna expand and it's gonna be all good. Always use the right size screwdriver, wrench, whatever. Not close, but the right size that fits it. Otherwise, you'll strip your screws out or your parts out, and that's no fun. Having the right size bit, though, is really important to not tearing your stuff up. Now it's solid. I don't have to worry about it for a pretty long time.
And then because you didn't glue it in, you just pull the old toothpick out, drop a new one in.
Yep. And it will last for, it could be years. I use this stuff all the time, too. But it has to be a fresh razor blade. I go through tons of these every day. I buy them by the 100. Once they start losing their edge, which is pretty quickly, I'm done. But these razor blades, you can use them for so many different things, whether it's just, you know, obviously cutting things, but you can also use them for cleaning up really gnarly fingerboards. You can use them for finish work. And I've done this a lot recently on guitars that don't have lacquer finishes. So they have like a polyurethane finish. So I'll put a piece of Scotch tape on either side. So now when I go and I put a new bead of super glue, let's say to fill a little ding, it's gonna be above the surface, right? Well, I can take this and it will scrape it right down to the surface, but not actually scratch anything because it's got that spacer in it, see?
Interesting.
So what we're gonna do is just pick one, let's say that one, right there. So I'm just gonna draw a little circle around that so we can come back to it. We're gonna be using thin super glue for this.
Okay.
Thin super glue is a nightmare. It's a huge mess. So to prevent me making a mess, I'll take an old guitar string and make a little loop like this. They sell these, but you can just, we're guitarists, right? We have strings. I'll take this little loop that I made, and then here's some thin. So I would normally just spill this all over myself, because it is, when I say thin, I mean it's like,
Oh yeah, it's like water.
thin. So what I can do is drop it onto the little loop. Okay, see how it's resting in the loop? Now I can go here and drop it right where I want it. So that? Wow. Okay. And that way I was able to get a little bead in there, and I can even move it around just a little bit. Now, we'll let that dry. It won't take too long. And then I'll show you how to do this razor blade trick. You see it coming off? See the little stuff? How it's taking it off? Notice around it is not getting scratched up at all. I'm just listening for it to stop making sound. I'm pretty much 90 degrees, yeah. And I'm not pushing down on it very hard. I'm just kind of dragging it across. What you don't want to do is apply too much pressure because you are dealing with a razor blade. It'll cut through that Scotch tape in a heartbeat. Yeah. Right, really quickly. So you can't put too much pressure on it or you will go through and scratch the guitar.
And then when you stop hearing the sound, you know you're done.
Yeah, pretty much. To take it down, I just grabbed a piece of 800 grit sandpaper. I'm just gonna kind of go around a little bit and then I'll flat block it.
Specifically, you have to use that pedal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which pedal is that?
It's a broken Mosky Audio.
All right, check reverb.
Yeah, Silver Horse. They're going for like $9 million now. Yeah. Notice I'm not even really taking off the black marker much. This is where your next trick comes in. The almighty naphtha. That's permanent marker. So that'll take it off and it won't damage the guitar. At this point, you know, you can use a big buffer, you can use whatever. As far as compounds go, this is like a swirl remover. It's nothing special at all. And this is also nothing special. It's just like a foam wheel. That's the ding. If I sand a little bit more, I can get the lip to go away, but now it's flat. And I can keep going and get it even better than that.
But when I catch it in the light, when I catch the reflection,
Yeah.
I can't see it in the finish. I can only see it in the metallic.
Yeah, you see it in the metallic. So if it's not a metallic finish, it's way easier. But yeah, you could keep going and you can eventually get that to be perfectly flat and you won't be able to tell that it was there. If it's got a figured top or something, even easier. It hides everything. Your best friend and sounds crazy, is naphtha, also known as lighter fluid.
Okay.
It's like Zippo fluid, man. It's the same stuff. So the cool thing about naphtha is the flash point is so high that it evaporates almost instantly. That means that you can use it on lacquers, you can use it on polys, you can use it on the fret, you can use it anywhere on a guitar. It's not going to damage anything, and it will take stubborn junk off the guitar. So there's like look, you see that? I don't even know what that is, but I can feel it. It's gnarly.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. There's all kinds of stuff here, right? And just like gross, right? I could spend a bunch of time wiping that off, polishing, but if I just pop a little naphtha on here, all right? I don't have to mess with it. It's gone.
Oh yeah.
See what I mean? And also, it's just clean now.
That is not, I never would have thought.
Yeah. I'm not saying you should use Zippo. I just grabbed that in a pinch, but naphtha is lighter fluid. It's Zippo fluid. It's the same stuff. So it works great. It's like at the top of the distillation of fuel products. You know, it's right up there with liquid petroleum, I think. I use it on everything, man. I mean, some people may disagree with me. That's fine. I've been doing it for 20 plus years, and it works wonders on everything. I mean, it's like a miracle solution. So it's great. So like I can even use it a little drop here, like pickups, stubborn pickups. Okay, like look at that gunk. That stuff, that's gunk from you playing it.
Yeah.
You see the ring of dirt or whatever, sweat. Comes right off.
Dude.
It's great. Yeah.
Wow.
So I use it for all kinds of stuff. It works great. It's super cheap, and you can use it on any kind of finish. It's safe for everything, so you don't have to worry about it. Doesn't have any wax or weird stuff in it that's going to damage, like a Gibson finish or a Martin, you know, whatever. It's safe on everything. Works great.
Nice. It's like Frank's Red Hot.
I mean, let's think about this. You got a bottle of lighter fluid.
Yeah.
What, $5, $10?
Yeah.
They're cheap. Bottle of Tight Bond. I know for a fact these are about $10. And this will last you forever as long as you don't do like I do and leave the lid open. Then they don't last very long. You got some Deoxit. This is maybe the most expensive thing on the list.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, 18 bucks? Something
Yeah,
like that?
$20.
Okay, maybe this. Okay. $5 probably for some razor blades. Scotch tape is cheap. Super glue is cheap. And the soldering iron, I think it's a WP-45.
Yeah.
It's less than $50.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the little button. Who cares?
And then all this with a few basic tools, some
Yeah.
bits that fit your specific guitar.
Yeah. Always use the right fitting bit so you don't strip anything out. Oh, and a capo.
Yeah. That's it.
So our whole list of tools for this little stuff we did today is $70, $80.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's totally DIY type of stuff, you know, that you can do yourself.
Nice.
And all of it will last a pretty long time.
So those are a few things that Ben, our pro guitar tech, loves. Huge thanks to Ben and Big House Guitars for letting us come down and film here. I'll have links to everything in the description box we talked about down below. Some of those will be affiliate links, which are a great way to support the channel if you like what I'm doing here. Also, give Ben a follow on social media. He's running the Big House Guitars account now. And if you're in the Atlanta area, come check out the shop. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite shops here in town. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and let me know what you thought about today's video in the comments. Catch you on the next one.